Hey loves, welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Blue. If you're new here, welcome to the channel and thank you so much for joining our spiritual community today. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back my dear friend. It's always a blessing to connect with you again. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into tonight's message, which I'm really excited to share with you all. Your person is currently experiencing a deep sense of irritation and emotional restlessness. They may be projecting this onto others around them, but here's what's really happening beneath the surface. This short temper isn't about the people in their immediate environment. It's rooted in something much deeper, a spiritual awakening that's been triggered by your energy shift. For the past few months, their access to you has been limited, whether emotionally, physically, or energetically. That distance is beginning to wear on them in ways they never expected. They're feeling the absence of your presence like a phantom limb, constantly aware of what's missing. When they initially walked away from you or chose to go silent, they operated from a place of ego and assumption. They believed you would be waiting with open arms. They thought your energy would still be focused on them, orbiting around their needs and timeline. But now they're realizing that isn't the case at all. You're no longer as accessible or emotionally available as you once were, and this unexpected shift is throwing them completely off balance. It's like they went to sleep expecting to wake up in the same world, only to find that the entire landscape has changed. They thought they understood how things would unfold. Maybe they expected you to chase after them, to reach out with worried texts, or to hold space for their return without question. Perhaps they imagined you would be there, waiting patiently, energy still tethered to theirs. But instead, you've become more composed, more centered, and emotionally detached in a way that they hadn't prepared for. You seem unbothered, not cold necessarily, but genuinely at peace with the situation. This realization is deeply unsettling for them, because it forces them to confront the consequences of their actions. Your calmness contrasts sharply with the emotional chaos they're now feeling, and it's making them reflect on the role they played in creating this distance. Your transformation is acting like a mirror, reflecting back to them everything they need to see about themselves. Where they once saw someone who was emotionally dependent or overly invested, they now see someone who has found their center. Where they once saw someone who would wait indefinitely, they now see someone who has learned their worth and won't settle for less. This mirror effect is creating what spiritual teachers call the dark night of the soul, a period of deep questioning and inner turmoil that precedes major spiritual growth. They're asking themselves questions they've never had to ask before. Who am I when I'm not the center of someone's world? What do I actually bring to this connection? Am I worthy of the love I'm seeking? They're coming to understand that they cannot truly get close to you again, at least not in the same way, until they release the baggage of their past. That includes old wounds, limiting beliefs, emotional patterns that have kept them stuck, and most importantly, the ego-driven behaviors that created this separation in the first place. This healing process is slow and often painful. It's like spiritual surgery without anesthesia. They're having to confront parts of themselves they've been avoiding for years, childhood wounds around abandonment, patterns of emotional unavailability, fears of intimacy, and defense mechanisms that have been protecting them, but also keeping them isolated. This is why you may be having trouble sensing their energy or feeling their presence. While you might have once felt them strongly, thinking about you, pulling on your energy, or communicating through unspoken emotions, that energetic thread now feels faint or uncertain. It's not that they've disappeared completely, they are directing their focus inward, attempting to heal and nurture themselves quietly, without making it obvious to you or anyone else. Think of it like this. Imagine someone who has been broadcasting their emotional energy outward for years, suddenly turning all that energy inward to do deep inner work. The external signal becomes weaker, but the internal transformation becomes more intense. Behind the scenes, they're observing you with a new level of awareness. They're watching how you move through your life and paying close attention to what you choose to share or not share. They're looking for signs, breadcrumbs, any indication of where you stand emotionally. They're studying your social media posts, analyzing your energy when you're around mutual friends, and looking for reassurance, especially on a spiritual level, that you're still emotionally invested in them. But what they're also coming to terms with is this: the dynamic between you has shifted dramatically, and there's no going back to the old patterns. You are no longer the one chasing this connection. The roles have completely reversed. Where once you may have reached out first, tried to hold things together, or poured your energy into nurturing the relationship, now you are focused on yourself. You are not giving them the attention they once took for granted. You've reclaimed your power, and that shift is both unsettling and necessary for them. It's shaking up their entire world and forcing them to reevaluate not just their connection with you, but their entire approach to love, commitment, and emotional vulnerability. What's happening to them right now is nothing short of a spiritual awakening. Your energy shift has triggered something deep within their soul that was dormant or suppressed. They're beginning to understand concepts they never considered before: divine timing, soul contracts, the difference between ego-based love and soul-based love, and the importance of becoming whole before attempting to merge with another. This awakening is uncomfortable because it's forcing them to release old versions of themselves that no longer serve their highest good. They're beginning to see you as someone who embodies the Empress energy, nurturing, loving, magnetic, and sovereign, but they also know that the Empress doesn't tolerate disrespect, inconsistency, or emotional immaturity. If they make another mistake, or if they come forward with anything less than full honesty and emotional maturity, you are capable of switching into Queen of Swords mode, clear, logical, emotionally discerning, and uncompromising in your standards. This awareness is what's making them take things so slowly. They are deeply afraid of doing or saying the wrong thing because they know the opportunity to reconnect with you may be fleeting. One wrong move, one misstep, and the door may close permanently. They understand now that the connection is sacred. It's not something to be played with or taken lightly. That's why they're being cautious, perhaps more cautious than you'd expect. But it's not because they don't care. On the contrary, they care deeply. They are finally starting to realize that love alone isn't enough. It has to be accompanied by growth, accountability, emotional maturity, and the willingness to change at a fundamental level. There's a constant tension within them between fear and hope. Fear that they've lost you forever, and hope that their transformation will be enough to earn a second chance. They're afraid that while they're doing this inner work, you might move on completely. They're afraid that by the time they're ready to show up differently, you'll have found someone else who is already operating from that higher level. But there's also hope. Hope that this period of separation is actually divinely orchestrated to help both of you grow into the versions of yourselves that can sustain a healthy, balanced union. This internal battle between fear and hope is what's creating the emotional restlessness you might be picking up on energetically. Now let's hear a message from your person's heart. Now let me share what your person's soul is trying to communicate to you directly. This energy is coming through very strongly, and I want you to really feel into this because it's incredibly vulnerable and raw. Are you truly sure that you can handle me? I ask not to challenge you, but out of complete honesty, because loving me is not simple. It's not a fairy tale, and I'm not always the person I seem to be on the outside. Are you really prepared to deal with all the emotional baggage I carry, all the experiences that have shaped me, the wounds that haven't quite healed, the triggers that still catch me off guard, and the parts of me that I'm still learning to love myself? There are so many layers to who I am, and while I try to show up with love and good intentions, the truth is I'm far from perfect. I'm complex, sometimes contradictory, and I'm still figuring out how to navigate this thing called life. Their raw honesty. I know sometimes people idealize the ones they care about. Maybe you've seen me in a light that feels brighter than reality. Maybe you filled in the gaps of what you don't know about me with beautiful assumptions. But the truth is, I'm not a saint. I'm not this endlessly composed or flawless person that you might imagine when we're apart. I am a human being with all the messiness, contradictions, and imperfections that come with that. I have bad days where I can barely stand myself. I have moments where I feel lost, confused, and overwhelmed by life. There are moments when I am difficult to be around. Sometimes I can be controlling, not because I want to dominate or manipulate, but because I'm afraid of losing control completely. When I feel like things are spinning out of my grasp, I try to grip tighter, and I know that's not healthy. I can be selfish, not because I don't care about others, but because I'm still learning how to balance my needs with others. I'm still learning how to give without depleting myself, and how to receive without feeling guilty. Insecurity often sneaks in like a thief in the night, whispering lies and distorting how I see myself and others. It tells me I'm not good enough, not worthy of love, not capable of sustaining a healthy relationship. My ego gets the better of me at times, especially when I feel threatened or unseen. I can become defensive, reactive, or withdraw completely just to protect myself from perceived rejection. Emotionally, I can be inconsistent. One moment I'm open and warm, ready to share my deepest thoughts and feelings. The next moment I'm closed off and distant, unsure of what I truly feel, or afraid to express it, because vulnerability feels too risky. The deeper fears. I'm afraid of my own intensity. I'm afraid that when I love too much, too deeply, too completely. I'm afraid that my love might feel overwhelming to you, that it might scare you away. I'm afraid of my own darkness. There are parts of me that I've kept hidden from the world, parts that I'm ashamed of or embarrassed by. I'm afraid that if you saw all of me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you might decide I'm too much work. I'm afraid of commitment, not because I don't want to be with you, but because I'm terrified of failing you. I'm afraid of making promises I can't keep, of letting you down the way I've let others down in the past. I'm afraid of my own patterns. I know I have tendencies to shut down when things get difficult, to run when things get too real, to sabotage good things because I don't believe I deserve them. The love beneath the fear. But through all of this confusion and imperfection, what I know with absolute certainty is this: I deeply adore you. I respect you more than words can truly express. You are not just anyone to me. You are someone incredibly close to my heart. You're the person I've grown to care about so profoundly, the one I am genuinely deeply in love with. My feelings for you are real, even if they come tangled in my flaws and fears. You've touched something deep within me, something I didn't even know existed before you came into my life. That kind of connection doesn't come around often. Actually, I don't think it's ever happened to me before. You've awakened something in me that I didn't know was sleeping. You make me want to be better, not because you've asked me to change, but because loving you has shown me what's possible when two people connect on a soul level. Why they're staying away, that is why this is so hard. As much as I want to be with you, to let you in fully, to share my life with you, I'm also painfully aware of the weight I might bring into your world. You've been through so much already. I see that in your eyes, in your quiet strength, in the way you carry yourself with grace, despite the storms you've weathered. I know you've suffered. I know you've been hurt before. And the last thing I want is to be another reason you hurt. The last thing I want is to add to your burdens or to bring chaos into the peace you've worked so hard to create. It wouldn't be fair to you if I entered your world without being fully ready, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You deserve someone who can stand beside you with strength, not someone who adds to your struggles. You deserve someone who can be your soft place to land, not someone who creates more turbulence in your life. That's why I've chosen to keep my distance right now, not because I don't care, but because I care so much that I'm willing to sacrifice my own immediate desires for your long-term well-being. Their commitment to growth. I need time to reflect, to grow, to confront the parts of me that hold me back from being the partner you deserve. I want to become stronger mentally and emotionally so that I can handle life's challenges without projecting them onto you or anyone else. I don't want to love you from a place of weakness, neediness, or desperation. I want to love you from a place of wholeness, not codependence. I want to stand on my own 2 feet and take full responsibility for my healing, my actions, and my choices. I want to be able to support you when you need it, rather than always being the one who needs support. I want to be able to celebrate your successes without feeling threatened by them. I want to learn how to communicate effectively, how to express my needs without making demands, how to listen without trying to fix everything. I want to heal my relationship with myself so that I can have a healthy relationship with you. The promise they're making. Please understand that this distance is not rejection, it's protection. It's my way of making sure that when I do show up in your life again, I do so as someone who is capable of loving you in the way you truly deserve. I want to come back to you as someone who has faced their own darkness and learned how to find light again. Someone who doesn't just say I love you, but shows it through emotional maturity, patience, and consistency. I want to come back to you as someone who has learned how to be vulnerable without being destructive, how to be passionate without being possessive, how to be present without being overwhelming. This isn't about becoming perfect. I know that's impossible. This is about becoming whole enough to love you without losing myself, and secure enough to let you love me without pushing you away. So if you're wondering why I've stepped back, this is the reason. It's not lack of care. It's not fear of love. It's love itself that is guiding me to pause, to rebuild, to become better. I hope deep down you can see the sincerity in that. I hope you can feel the love behind the distance. And if the universe allows, maybe someday I'll return to you, not with apologies or excuses, but with the kind of presence that speaks for itself. Until then, know that you remain close to my heart, always. And now, let me share the final layer of what's coming through, the raw, vulnerable truth of how much they miss you. This energy is so intense, so full of longing and desire. I know you're alone right now, perhaps finding comfort in your solitude, and strangely, that's the very thought that breaks my heart. It's not because I want to interrupt your peace. I respect your need for space and your journey of self-discovery, but it's because I long so deeply to be a part of that quiet moment with you. I want to be the one beside you as you sit in stillness, the one who shares in your silence, not to disturb it, but to make it warmer, softer, more complete. I imagine you there, surrounded by calm, your thoughts drifting like clouds across the sky of your mind, while I'm somewhere far away, thinking only of you. The distance between us isn't just physical, it's energetic, emotional, spiritual. It feels like a weight on my chest, a constant ache that reminds me of what I'm missing. It's like being homesick for a place I've only visited once, but that place is your presence, your energy, your love. I miss your warmth more than words can truly express. It's not just your physical touch, though I ache for that too. It's the energy you give off when you're near, that unspoken comfort I feel when I'm with you. It's the way you make me feel safe without saying a word, the way your presence alone can calm the storm inside me, the way everything else fades into the background when you're around. Just to sit beside you, shoulder to shoulder, saying nothing, and letting our presence speak louder than words. That's what I crave, not conversation, not entertainment, just the simple miracle of being in the same space, breathing the same air. I miss the way you smell, that unique scent that's just you, mixed with whatever perfume or soap you use. I miss the sound of your breath when you're relaxed. I miss the way you move through space with such grace and intention. I've been thinking about you constantly. You're on my mind more than I'd like to admit, though I have no intention of denying it either. The truth is, you're not just in my thoughts. You're woven into the very fabric of my consciousness. You're embedded in everything I do. I wake up thinking of you, wondering if you slept well, if you're having a good morning. I go through the motions of the day with you on my mind, wondering what you're doing, who you're talking to, if you're happy. I fall asleep still wondering how you're doing, replaying memories of us together, imagining what it would be like to hold you as you drift off to sleep. There's this restless part of me that just wants to reach out, to break the silence, to text you and say, I miss you, I want your attention, I need your presence, I'm thinking about you every single moment. But then I hesitate, not wanting to intrude on your healing journey, not knowing what you're feeling in return, not wanting to seem desperate or needy. Sometimes I catch myself scrolling through my phone, wishing there were a message from you, hoping you might be missing me too. I look at your name in my contacts and my finger hovers over the call button. I write messages to you that I never send, long rambling texts where I pour out my heart, only to delete them because I'm afraid of saying too much or not enough. I check your social media, looking for clues about your emotional state, hoping to catch a glimpse of what you're going through. Not in a stalking way, but in a way that comes from love, from genuine care and concern. I analyze every post, every photo, every story, looking for signs. Are you happy? Are you healing? Are you thinking about me too? That maybe, just maybe, you're thinking about me in this very moment. That maybe when you look at the moon, you wonder if I'm looking at it too. That maybe when you hear a song we used to listen to together, you feel that same flutter in your chest that I feel. I want to know if there's an emptiness in your day where I used to be. Do you reach for your phone sometimes, instinctively wanting to share something with me, only to remember that we're not in contact? Do your thoughts wander to me, the way mine constantly wander to you? Do you replay memories in your mind like I do? Moments of laughter, quiet touches, deep conversations, or simply the way we used to look at each other? Do you remember the way I used to make you coffee in the morning? The way we'd sit together in comfortable silence? The way I'd trace patterns on your skin when you were falling asleep? Do you miss the way we used to communicate without words? The way a single look could convey everything we needed to say? The way we seemed to move in sync, like we were dancing to music only we could hear? I wonder if you dream about me. I wonder if you wake up sometimes reaching for me, only to find empty space. I wonder if you talk to me in your mind the way I talk to you in mine. There's this deep craving in me that's not just emotional but physical, sensual, passionate. It's not about lust alone, it's about intimacy, about the raw and tender need to be close to someone whose presence feels like home. I want to hold you, to wrap myself around you, and let you feel the depth of my longing through every kiss, every touch, every breath. I want to lose myself in the connection we share, to forget everything else and simply exist with you. I miss the way your body fits against mine, like we were designed to be together. I miss the way you'd curl up next to me, trusting me with your vulnerability and sleep. I miss the way your hand felt in mine, not just the physical sensation, but the emotional weight of it, the way it felt like coming home every time our fingers interlaced. I miss the way you'd look at me when you thought I wasn't paying attention, the way your eyes would soften when you were feeling particularly loving, the way you'd smile when something reminded you of an inside joke we shared. But beyond the physical, I miss our spiritual connection, the way we seemed to understand each other on a soul level, the way conversations with you felt like coming home to a part of myself I'd forgotten existed. I miss the way you challenged me to grow, not through criticism, but through your own example, the way you inspired me to be better just by being yourself. I miss the way we'd sit in silence together, and it felt more intimate than any conversation I'd had with anyone else. The way our energies seemed to merge when we were close. I miss the way you saw me, really saw me, not just the surface version I show to the world, but the real me underneath. The way you loved me, not despite my flaws, but including them. You are more than just a passing thought. You are a presence that lives in my heart every single day. You're not just someone I care about, you're someone I'm deeply, madly, completely in love with. And right now, it's hard to focus on anything else. I try, I truly do, but my soul feels like it's searching for something it cannot find in the world around me. It's your love, your care, your attention that I yearn for. The world feels a little colder, a little emptier, a little less colorful when you're not here. I wish you knew just how deeply I feel this. I wish I could express the fullness of it in a way that wouldn't overwhelm you, but would instead wrap you in the truth of what I carry inside me. My love for you isn't fleeting. It's not based on the moment or convenience. It's not something that will fade with time or distance. It's rooted in something much deeper, a soul recognition that transcends physical attraction or emotional attachment. It's the kind of love that poets write about, that musicians sing about, that mystics describe as the deepest spiritual experience. It's the love that makes you believe in destiny, in soulmates, in the idea that some connections are written in the stars. A longing that doesn't go away just because you're silent or because we're apart. It stays, it lives in me, and it grows stronger every day we're not together. So while you sit in your solitude, please know that somewhere, someone is longing for you with a heart full of warmth, desire, and unshakable love. I'm here thinking of you, missing you, and hoping that maybe, just maybe, you're missing me too. I'm here holding space for the love we share, even in the silence, even in the distance. And I'm here waiting, not passively but actively working on myself, so that when the time is right, when we're both ready, we can come together not as two broken people trying to fix each other, but as two whole people choosing to share their completeness. Until then, know that you are loved beyond measure. Know that you are missed beyond words. Know that you are held in the heart of someone who sees you, truly sees you, and loves everything they see. Now, beautiful soul, let me give you comprehensive guidance on how to navigate this complex energy. This is where we move from understanding to action, from insight to empowerment. If you've been feeling like something has shifted, trust that feeling completely. Your intuition is not lying to you. Your person is indeed going through profound internal work, and your energy shift has been the catalyst that set everything in motion. You're not imagining the change. You've literally shifted the entire dynamic of this connection. This is your spiritual power in action. When you feel that faint energetic connection, or when you sense them thinking about you but can't quite pin it down, know that this is real. They are thinking about you constantly, but their energy is turned inward for healing. Don't question your psychic abilities or your intuitive hits. You're picking up on exactly what's happening, a person doing deep inner work while carrying intense love for you in their heart. Keep doing what you're doing. Your focus on yourself, your healing, and your growth is not only what's needed right now, it's what created this positive shift in the first place. This transformation you've undergone is what triggered their awakening. You stepping into your power is what made them realize they needed to step into theirs. Do not abandon your self-focused journey now. This is not the time to chase, wonder what if, or try to rescue them from their healing process. This is the time to continue building your own strength, sovereignty, and inner peace. Practical steps: continue your spiritual practices, meditation, journaling, energy work. Keep investing in your goals and dreams. Maintain your social connections and support system. Stay committed to your therapy or healing work. Continue building the life you want, regardless of their presence. While they're doing their inner work, it's crucial that you protect your energy. You don't need to be available for their healing process. You don't need to be their source of strength while they figure themselves out. Love them from a distance, but don't sacrifice your peace for their growth. How to set energetic boundaries. When you feel them pulling on your energy, consciously redirect it back to yourself. Use visualization techniques to cut energetic cords at the end of each day. Practice saying, "I love you and I release you," when you feel their energy. Don't engage in energetic conversations or try to send them messages telepathically. Focus on your own energetic hygiene. Cleanse your space, ground yourself regularly. What's happening between you is not just a regular relationship dynamic. This is a spiritual awakening being triggered by divine love. Your connection is activating both of your soul's highest potential. Your energy shift didn't just change a relationship, it initiated a spiritual transformation for both of you. This is sacred work, and it's happening in divine timing. The separation you're experiencing is not a punishment or a failure. It's a necessary part of the alchemical process that transforms two incomplete people into two whole individuals who can then choose to unite from a place of wholeness. Remember, this is not about you not being good enough. This is not about them not loving you enough. This is about both of you becoming who you're meant to be. This is about divine timing and spiritual preparation. When someone does this level of inner work, they often come back completely different. Be prepared that if they do return, it may be with a transformed energy, new emotional maturity, and a deeper capacity for love. But here's the key: stay discerning. Don't accept words without actions. Don't accept promises without proof. Don't accept potential without present moment reality. What to look for: consistent actions that match their words, emotional maturity in handling conflict, accountability for past behavior without defensiveness, genuine change in their communication patterns, respect for your boundaries and your journey. Don't wait. Keep living your life. This is perhaps the most important piece of guidance I can give you. Do not put your life on hold for their healing journey. Do not pause your happiness for their growth. Continue dating if you want to. Continue exploring connections. Continue building the life you want. If they're meant to return, they will, but your life shouldn't pause for their transformation. Why this matters: you maintain your own growth and evolution. You avoid becoming codependent on their healing. You stay open to all possibilities, including other connections. You demonstrate your own self-worth and value. You avoid the trap of waiting for someone to become ready. Use this time to examine your own attachment patterns. What drew you to someone emotionally unavailable? What patterns do you have around love and relationships? This separation is an opportunity for you to heal your own wounds around fear of abandonment, need for external validation, patterns of chasing or pursuing, difficulty receiving love, fear of your own power. Don't underestimate the magnitude of your own transformation. You didn't just change a relationship dynamic. You stepped into your spiritual power. You embodied the divine feminine energy that demands respect, consistency, and emotional maturity. This is a huge spiritual milestone. You've learned to love without chasing, to care without sacrificing yourself, to hope without attachment. Celebrate your growth. You've reclaimed your power. You've learned to love from a place of wholeness. You've developed emotional sovereignty. You've learned to trust divine timing. You've embodied your worth. This is the time to pour all the love you have for them back into yourself. Every moment you spend missing them, redirect that energy into self-care, self-appreciation, and self-development. Radical self-love practices. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to them. Take yourself on dates and adventures. Buy yourself flowers, gifts, and treats. Celebrate your accomplishments and progress. Treat your body with the same tenderness you'd show them. Forgive yourself for past mistakes with the same compassion you'd show them. Finally, trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe is orchestrating this experience for your highest good and theirs. The timing of everything, the meeting, the connection, the separation, and any potential reunion is all divinely guided. Your job is not to control the outcome. Your job is to focus on your own growth, trust the process, and remain open to whatever unfolds. Affirmations for divine timing. I trust that everything is happening for my highest good. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. Divine timing is perfect timing. What's meant for me will not pass me by. I release control and trust the flow of life. Remember, you are the Empress now. The Empress doesn't chase, beg, or convince. The Empress creates her own happiness, builds her own kingdom, and attracts love through her own magnetic energy. The Empress knows her worth and doesn't settle for less. She loves deeply but doesn't lose herself in love. She hopes for the best but prepares for all possibilities. Stay in your Empress energy. Let them come to you when they're ready, if they're ready, and if they don't, know that someone else will, who is already operating at the level you deserve. You are sovereign. You are worthy. You are complete exactly as you are. As they continue this silent journey of healing and reflection, they are hoping, perhaps even praying, that you haven't given up completely. They're holding out for the chance to show you that they've changed, or at least that they are actively trying to. Until then, they will remain in the shadows, watching, waiting, and working through the emotional clutter that kept them from fully embracing this connection in the past. Whether or not they succeed in reconnecting with you remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, you've shifted the energy, and they feel it deeply. The power dynamic has changed, and now it's up to them to rise to meet you, not the other way around. You are the Empress now. You are sovereign. You are worthy of someone who shows up fully, consistently, and with emotional maturity. Don't settle for less. If this message resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. And remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you deserve nothing less than a love that matches your energy. Until next time, sending you all my love and light.